the 1940s, American scientist Benno Gutenberg was doing a study when he suspected that the water in the sea was rising. To confirm his suspicion, Gutenberg studied the data of the last 100 years, and his suspicion turned into a belief. Water level in sea is increasing continuously due to the melting of polar ice. In the 90s, this was confirmed by NASA too. Since then, the discussion on other threats of global warming intensified across the world. The average sea level has risen 3.6 millimeters per year since 1993. This is catastrophic for islands and coastal regions. This is Kiribati, the first country that will be swallowed up by the sea as a result of climate change. The Republic of Kiribati is a low-lying Pacific island nation situated just west of the international dateline. It is an archipelago of 33 islands, 21 of them inhabited, with a total land area of 313 square miles and a population of 1.2 lakh people. With most of its land only a few feet above sea level, Kiribati has already seen growing damage from storms and flooding. Some of the nation's uninhabited islets have even vanished beneath the Pacific. As far back as 1989, a UN report on the greenhouse effect listed Kiribati as one of the countries at risk from rising sea levels. 10 years later, two of its uninhabited islands, Abanuea and Tabua Tarawa, disappeared under the waves. Now, storm surges cause the sea to invade the land increasingly more often, contaminating freshwater reserves, killing crops and flooding homes. Kiribati's coral atolls are very low-lying, with a maximum height of just 157 inches above sea level and an average height of just 78 inches. Scientists expect a warming global climate to cause further sea level rise over this century and beyond. If we do nothing to reduce our carbon emissions, global sea level is projected to rise as high as 23 inches over recent average levels by the end of this century. If, on the other hand, we make significant efforts to reduce our emissions, sea level rise between now and the end of the century could be at most 15 inches. Kiribatians have already begun to emigrate in response to what they believe to be an unavoidable situation. Others cling on to their land, looking for temporary solutions. Residents have begun building walls out of coral rocks which are then destroyed by the high tide. Some towns have shifted a few meters inland, and mangroves have been planted to protect the soil from erosion and mitigate storm surges. If the predictions are accurate, the atoll of Tarawa will be uninhabitable within a generation. The reality is that this problem is not endemic to the Pacific. Kiribati could just be the first domino to fall. If the ice sheets covering Greenland melt completely, sea levels would rise approximately 7 meters, and cities like London and Los Angeles would disappear.